Welcome to Millennium Computer's fast online tutorials for Page Builder. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to use the features on the reporting page, including changing the grid height to view more records, using custom column options, advanced options, and also how to save your report options as a pinned report. I am going to open the retiring seniority report I created in the previous tutorial, and it is on the My Reports menu. However, as a reminder, the reporting pages that you create can be on any menu. As on all standard fast reporting pages, the report options open with 3 tabs. And they are the filter options, the advanced options, and pinned reports. I will go over the filter options first, display the report, and then later I will show you the advanced options and what you can do with pinned reports. When you open the reporting page, the filter options open by default and the page notes are located just below them. Notes are specific to the reporting page you are on and only display if notes have been added for this page. You can add and edit the notes if you have the admin role. You can hide the notes if you don't want to see them. And now to run the report, we have to select filter options, and you want to select at least one filter option to minimize the amount of records in the list. For my filter, I am going to select employees with a birth date between 1945 and 1950. I am not going to use this control. I just want to show you that it can be opened by clicking in the box area or clicking the green plus icon. I am now going to run the report to show you what the options are. If the size of your screen limits what you can see, there are a few things you can do to see more data on the page. By clicking the arrow on the extreme right of the HR title bar, you can hide the fast header at the top of the page and gain almost an inch of space to work with. Note how 15 of the 252 records are showing, and there is over an inch of blank space. To show more lines, all you have to do is change the records per page. And now 50 records are listed. You can use a scroll bar within the data grid to see the records, but there is another way to view more of them on your screen. It might be a bit hard to see in this tutorial, but it is a great option if you have a larger monitor. You can use the grid height option and click the arrow, or move the slider, which is what I will do. There are more records showing, and everything at the bottom of the page has been moved down. Because every situation is different, you can adjust the grid height and records per page to suit your needs. This tutorial uses a smaller window, so I am going to reset the grid height and leave the records per page at 50. If you want more than 15 or 50 records to display in the data grid when you run reports, you can change it in your user profile. Click Edit and then open the list for the records per page. You can change it to any of the amounts in the list, and these amounts may be different at your institution. And now I am going to show you some of the other things you can do on a reporting page. At the bottom right are icons where you can export the data on the page into PDF format, into an Excel spreadsheet, or export to XML format. Column settings are optional, and your institution may not use them in some columns, or at all for that matter. However, there are several different things you can do with the columns, starting with custom column filters, which are different than filter options in that you can filter on the items in the column. Click the heading for the column you want to filter on, and then click Apply. I want to list home organization codes that start with 4.3. You can search for items that are like, not like, equal, or not equal to what you enter. I am going to use the default of like. I am typing 4.3% and then we'll click Apply. And now only home organization codes starting with 4.3 are listed on the page. I want to remove the custom filtering for this column. Another thing you can do with the custom column filters is sort by a column in the report. When I initially created this report, I set it up so it would be sorted by the birth date in ascending order, which is indicated by the arrow in the title. You can sort in ascending or descending order, or remove sorting, which is what I am going to do for this column, and then we'll later show you another place you can sort by columns. You also have the option to remove a column if you don't want to display it in the data grid. And now that the column is gone, how do you get it back? Remember in the report options, there was a tab called Advanced Options? I'm going to open that now and show you how. To reopen the report options, you can do one of the following three things. At the bottom of the page, click the Show Report icon. At the top right, click the Show Options button, or click anywhere on the Report Options title bar. This is the option I prefer to use because I can click anywhere on the width of the title bar. And when the report options open, click the Advanced Options tab. Because I hid the external ID column, the checkbox is not selected, and the lists for the group function and column sort don't show either. I do want the external ID column to show in the data grid, and so I am going to select the checkbox. Previously, I mentioned you could sort columns a different way, and this is where it is, in the Advanced Options section. I am sorting by class code ascending. Note that the column name is added to the sort order box on the right. And now I want to run the report to see what it looks like. The external ID column is displaying again, and the class code column now has an arrow indicating it is sorted in ascending order. And now I'll go back to the advanced options so I can show you the group functions. With group functions, it is best to use 2 or 3 columns at the most, so I'm going to clear the checkboxes for the columns I do not want. I am using only the home org and class code columns and applying the group function of count to the class code column. I will then run the report to see the results. And with the group functions applied, the report shows a count of how many class codes are in each home org. And now let's say you want to run this particular report on a regular basis, but don't want to go through the process of selecting the options every time. All you have to do is click the Save as Pinned Reports button that is located below the data grid. The filter options open with a dialog box located below the filter controls. I am going to call this report Class and Home Org. And my description will be Home Organization with Count by Class Code. You can make this report public if you want others with access to this page to see this pinned report. Click Save and then close the yellow message boxes. I'm going to click the Pinned Reports tab to see what happened. The report I called Class and Home Org is listed in the Public Reports section. My personal pinned reports are in the top section and only I can see them. You can use your mouse to hover over the icon to see the description. You can do the same thing for the More Info icon, where it lists when the report was created, the last time it was executed, and how many times it was executed. In the Pinned Reports section, you can execute the report. You can execute the report and create it in PDF, Excel, or XML format. Another option is to email any of these formats to another user. You can also delete the report from here or edit it. And by edit, I mean edit the name and description. For more detailed information, you can access the online help files from the Help menu.